Hello, I'm Dan Martin.
And I'm Vince Miller, and this is the EC Video Review.
Today we have two videos on loan from the Evangel College Library. The first of which is Star Trek III in Search for Spock.
Star Trek III picks up where Star Trek II had ended with the death of Spock. Kirk hears that Spock may be alive on the Genesis planet, so him and his crew hijack the Enterprise and head towards this planet in hopes of finding his friend.
In this next scene, Captain Kirk and the Enterprise crew encounter the Klingons who have come to steal the secret of the Genesis planet.
Agent. No shields? My guess is right. They'll have to decloak before they can fire. May all your guesses be right. Von Mars Telekom. Cyrus.
Klingon bird appraiser. She's arming torpedoes. Fire, Mr. Scott.
Good shooting, Mr. Scott. Precautionary, Mr. Chekhov. Shields up.
Aye, sir.
Emergency power! Ghostbusters!
Sir, the shield's non-responsive.
Scotty.
The automation system's overloaded. I didn't expect to take us into combat, you know.
I really enjoyed the movie. I thought it was action-packed, and you really didn't have to be a Star Trek fan to really get involved in the movie and involved in the plot. But the last 15 minutes were only for the die-hard Trekkie fans, and it kind of dragged out toward the end.
I agree, Dan. You don't have to be a Star Trek fan to enjoy this one. It's got a little bit of action to keep your interest going. But overall, I think it is a mediocre movie, and it's probably the worst of all four.
I disagree. I really enjoyed it, and it really got me involved in the plot because I am a Trekkie fan, and I really enjoyed it, so I'm going to give it a 7.
Dan, I'm not as impressed. I'm only going to give it a 4.
Our next video is the classic Western High Noon.
The great Gary Cooper is the star in this one. He's the marshal of a town, and he's just about ready to leave to start a new life when the man whom he sent to prison 5 years ago is coming back on a train to take care of him.
The movie centers around the last hour and a half before his enemy, Frank Miller, comes into town on the train. This video clip we're about to see is where the sheriff meets his foe face to face.
Dan, I tried to keep in mind that this movie has been labeled a classic, and just because it's a classic doesn't mean it's going to be a great movie. But this one kept up to the billing, and I enjoyed it very much. It had enough action to keep you going, and it kept me interested all the way throughout.
Well, I agree, Vince. It really built suspense right up until the very final 5 minutes of the program. It was really good and not really action-packed, but really suspenseful, and it got me involved, and I believe it is a classic. I'm going to give this movie an 8.
Dan, I was impressed, but not quite as much. I'm only going to give it a 7.
Well, that's our 2 videos for this week. To recap our first one, Star Trek III In Search of Spock, I gave it a 7, and Vince gave it a 4.
And for the classic Western High Noon, Dan gave it an 8, while I gave it a 7.
Remember, both of these videos and many, many more are available for loan for you, the student, at Evangel College Library.
Well, that's all for now. Until next week.
This is EC Video Review.
Sharp Compact Disc Player, the ultimate in sound reproduction.